Yeah. And can we get that to point in the right direction? Come on. It's not set up on a table for a change, so it's going to be a little difficult. Ah, goodness gracious. I think I'm still recovering from my trip. I'm pretty tired. But some of that is all because I fell down a rabbit hole of watching a TV program that I haven't seen in a long while, catching up on some of the seasons I missed. I was doing a little looking around last night, trying to find the lowest price on the Spider-Man Homecoming. I'm just so frustrated with Sony right now. Like, honestly, going over to sites like Amazon and looking at the like the download for Spider-Man Homecoming, like you can pay $14.99 for special high definition 4K vision version of it. I don't have a TV that'll play that, and you have to have a special TV to do that. I'm like, okay, so what are the other versions available? I can get it on DVD and it'll be here in 3 weeks. I'm like, that's not useful. What do you have a lower definition version of it? No. I can get a version of it by signing up for Starz TV network. I don't even have a TV. Like, how is it this hard to find a copy of this movie? Like, I don't even think I really want to see this movie, but to be a completionist, I want to kind of see it. But I'm not going to fight that hard to see it. So I got kind of frustrated with that last night. I was like, I don't know. Like, I'll record watching something else, I guess. But so I spent some time looking around on Netflix to see whether or not I wanted to start watching the Netflix series from Marvel, like the Daredevil, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones. And again, I don't have a TV, so I'm using the internet to do this. And the search feature through the website for Netflix, it was giving me all kinds of trouble. I put in Marvel series, and it pulled up series 3 of Daredevil and Iron Fist, but none of the rest of them came up. And I said, all right, so maybe they pulled them. I don't know. So I did a little looking around, and when I was looking under science fiction for something else to watch at that point, I kind of gave up last night. And I said, what else could I watch? I pulled up science fiction, and science fiction pulls up Jessica Jones and The Punisher. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, everything is lost. No search pulls up anything that I'm looking for. And I got so frustrated with it. I'm just like, I don't want to deal with this right now. And then I saw the little tab of your saved series or whatever. And I looked at it and like, oh yeah. And then I realized I have not seen an episode of iZombie since the end of season 2. And they're coming up on season 5 soon. I'll let the screen fall. So they're gonna create a season 5 soon of this series. I thought they had canceled it at one point, but I actually really enjoyed the TV series, and they've got season. I had seen season 1 through 2, and I started last night, pretty late in the evening, just binging on the series. And it was an interesting season 3. I didn't see it coming the way they finished off. So I'm not sure I'm a fan. I'm not sure I'm a fan of how they went about the rest of the season. Like the way they finished off season 3. I don't know. I'll have to see how season 4 plays out. I'm not really there for it, I don't think. I'll watch it through. I mean, they do pretty good they do pretty well with making the stories work well in a way that I don't anticipate them working. So I have a little faith that they'll maybe be able to pull it off. But it's still just, I think it, like they've changed it too much from the things I liked about it for me to be on board as much as that. Um, so I've been binging and watching that for a bit, and now I feel like I should probably watch the some of the X-Men movies for a Views Day Night movie. I'm watching my screen here. Just because I don't have anything secured in a way. I'm vegging out for today, the other half of yesterday. I'm just ready to just take a little break. I think I'm still recovering a little bit from that cold, and mood-wise, I was just not up for too much, and so I ended up binging the. I keep wanting to call it Dead Like Me because it's that was a series I actually enjoyed when I was younger. iZombie is the series that I'm watching now. I'm binge watching. I'm debating whether or not I want to go back and watch season 4. I just finished season 3, and I'm not a zombie fan. Like, I don't like zombie movies. I don't like some of that silly stuff. It just never really worked for me. But iZombie, the first season especially, iZombie on the first season, I think was the most interesting and innovative way of doing a zombie story that I've ever seen. And so I think I would almost rank that and The Last of Us as two examples of zombie stories that I like. Yeah. Yeah, I ran a little late. I don't even know what time it is. I got caught up binging the series, and yeah, I didn't realize until I was like, I need to do this. I I botched that one up a little bit, but I do still have a little bit of the cold going on, and I'm sort of out of food because I ate all my food before I left on my trip, and I only grabbed a little bit on my way back, and so I've got like eggs. Actually, that's not true. I've got some frozen fish, um, and so I'm sort of. I occasionally get to this point sometimes where I'm just sort of like, I want to hole up and not do anything or talk to anybody or interact with the world for a little while. And it's a bad habit I get into where like even to the point of like you've got 2 meals left in the fridge. You should go out and run errands. And instead, what my brain says is if I eat smaller meals, I can stretch it out so that I don't have to go out today. I can go out tomorrow. And so I put it off and I put it off and I put it off, and then I get to a point where like now you don't have any choice. You literally have no other choice. There isn't even a can of like tuna fish or like a instant rice hidden in the back of a cabinet somewhere. You literally have nothing to eat in the house. Time to get out and go do something. And so I'm like, I'm fighting going anywhere and doing anything. There's just a part of me was just like I'm still tired and I'm still kind of sick. But it's not so bad that I shouldn't be able to do something, but like pulling the energy together to get up and go do stuff, I just can't seem to make myself do it right now. But I'm willing to permit myself a day or so of that. But I can't keep doing that. I do have an event I have to go I have to go to a family member's birthday this weekend. Like I have I have literally, when I got back here, I have become a shut-in. Like my phone died 2 days ago, and the only reason it's not still dead, like I plugged it in so I could make the phone call to pay a bill that I needed to pay by today. If I didn't have that bill to pay, I wouldn't have done it. And so I would still be holed up, not interacting with the world. It's just a weird thing. I get into this mindset. Sometimes I just want to not do anything, and I don't want to interact with the world in any way. And I think it's just partly because I'm such an introvert, um, that I've been stretching myself a lot this past year, and this year and a half, I guess, at this point, where I've been, uh, I've been to 49 of the 50 states at this point, and interacted with like 6 or 7 people in each state that I didn't know before I interacted with them for the most part. And like I ate at places or got food at places that I'd never been to. It's just like it's pushing so hard outside of my comfort zone. And to me, that's usually a good thing. Like pushing outside your comfort zone is, a good thing to do. And I find it rewarding, and I learn new and interesting things all over the world that I go to. But there is just every now and then this desire to pull back and just be alone, like quietly be alone for a little while. I am actually really digging how these curtains look on this camera. The details pop so much more on this camera. Anyway, yeah, so I'm sort of on a down note for right now. I just kind of need a little recuperative time. I've got this weekend, I've got a family birthday, possibly 3 birthdays to attend this weekend. So I got to figure that one out. I've got to leave some reviews for the Airbnb places I stayed while I was traveling. And I paid some bills today. I really got to get my brain sorted back into how to comfortably live in the world again. um, it's reorganizing my brain from all that I've been putting it through lately. Just kind of catching up, get my feet back under me, reorganize my thought process. So, I mean, I'm a bit out of it. I don't think I want to watch season 4 of iZombie, but I kind of do. That's so hard because, like I said, the first season of iZombie, it might still be on Netflix. I really enjoyed that. It was a whole new take and a whole new fun adventure, and I really liked it. Season 2 was a good follow-up season to it. Season 3, the stories were good, and it's like hard to put down kind of thing, so I could really stick with it. But they've gone in such a different direction that I'm not really sure it's the series I loved when I first started watching it. Now, there is something that I almost said supposed to watch. There is a series that a lot of people who know me recommend to me. I think it's called The Black Mirror. I haven't seen any of them, or Dark Mirror. What is it? And I haven't watched any of them, but it's, a lot of people say it sounds like it's my style. So I kind of want to watch some of that, but I'd like to kind of record the reaction to that. And I'm still right now needing to finish up with the Marvel or X-Men movies. And then I want to go out in the next couple days and maybe go see Captain Marvel in the theaters. And then I got to figure out when I might go see Endgame. I don't know that I'm up for going to see it like opening weekend. But once I've done that for the movies in the theater, I think I'll be ready to switch over to a different theme for Views Day night, because I've been doing the Marvel movies up until now. And there are a few other movies and TV series that I would enjoy watching. And I want to do that sort of live. I am rethinking doing the Views Day night. I'm wondering if I record them using OBS. If I do like a green screen backdrop, I'll record them on OBS. And is the mic still getting me? I keep dropping the monitor, realizing that the mic I'm using is the mic on my monitor, because it actually has the better sound, I think. Anyway, so Views Day, I've been debating whether or not I want to record them with a timer down in the bottom so people can sync up with what I'm watching, and occasionally drop in a still image from the screen. That sounds like a lot more editing work. I'm not sure I really want to do that. Maybe. There might be a way I can make that work, especially if I'm doing a recorded and edit in later. So I'll have to think about that one. I'm not sure there's any interest in the Views Day at all, but I'll keep dabbling with it, see what I can do with it. Yeah, I need to record the edited videos for the review of the book, movie, board game, product, service, etc., etc. I mean, I've read and played all the things that I need to do. I just sort of need to review them, edit them, and post them. And I think I've been letting myself get distracted since I got back from Hawaii. Just kind of like Hawaii should have been my distraction, but I didn't get to use it that way. It was just so much work to make that happen. And it was such a hard thing to go through that cold during that trip. So I feel like I'm taking a vacation from the stress of having taken that vacation. And it's just like, yeah, I got to figure that out. I need to get to Pittsburgh in the next month or so, possibly Vermont and Delaware too. And then by I think early to mid-June, I'm debating whether or not I'm going to another maker convention in Chattanooga. I might. I also ate some things yesterday that made me a little sick, so that one was my own fault. I got careless, and that was a rather painful day yesterday. I'm a little all over the place today. So today is Friday. I got to get some things in order tonight and tomorrow. And then I'm with family Sunday. And that brings us up onto a new week. So I gotta figure that out. I may throw up. Let's see. That's a horrible way to phrase that. I may do a late views day this week, and then the 3. What's the release date of Avengers Endgame? That was totally not what I asked you to do. Why would you do that? There we go. Okay, so because I'm using my left hand to do this right now. Endgame. Release date. Let's see. I think it's the 15th of April. Oh, it's the 26th of April. Oh, geez. So I got some time to burn. And let's see. 26th of April. That's Tuesday. Like if I do one this week, one next week, one the week after that, then the 2nd of April. It's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have 8 things to watch to fill the weeks between now and Endgame release date. And what do I have on my? I don't even know if I'm still on camera. I don't know if I wandered off too far here. Am I still on camera? Yeah, more or less. Okay. So, I have I'm using the wrong hand to do this. YouTube. I have my watch later list. I think has the 4 X-Men movies left, and if I ever figure out Spider-Man: Homecoming in a way that I can do, that might be 5. I got to get 8 weeks of content. So, what do I at here? Come on, work with me. Okay, so we've got that. Let's see if we can switch hands to a functional use here. Oh, come on. You're dragging. All right, so we've got X-Men Apocalypse, X-Men Days of Future Past, X-Men First Class, and X-Men Last Stand. That's 4 of those movies. Spider-Man: Homecoming would be 5. 6, 7, 8 needs to be found. And if I don't do Homecoming, which I'm seriously debating at this point, there is no reason for a company to make it that difficult to watch their movie. If they're going to continue to make it that hard, I may just not bother. But I could watch the pilot for Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, Defenders. I've already seen the first season of Daredevil. I could do one of the following seasons, and then there's Punisher. 5. So if I did like the pilots for each of those series, and the X-Men movies, that would be Marvel content up to the date of Endgame. I'm debating whether or not I want to even count the X-Men in on that. I feel like I could do Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Daredevil, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, Defenders, Punisher. I feel like I believe there's like Cloak and Dagger is out there, and there's Runaways. I think is one of the other series that's out there that not a lot of people talk about. So I might be able to get like that feels like it makes more sense to me because the X-Men movies are not part of the MCU. I think that may be the way I go. I might just do the pilots, or maybe the first 2 episodes. I don't feel like I could do a whole season. Like that's a 20. Well, they're usually like 13 episodes a season. That would be like a whole day viewing. And I don't like if I did one of those every day. Well, every views day, do 13 hours of TV. Nah, I wouldn't do that because there are multiple seasons in each. But yeah, the Days of Future Past is the one everybody says was a good one, and like that's the one on the list that like I should check out. I think the rest of them, I'm kind of like not sure. Now, do you watch any movies on YouTube? Because I'm going to admit that I have actually found this service to be quite appealing to me. Like right here, I could click on X-Men Last Stand, X-Men 3, right now, and for $4, I could watch it in standard definition on my laptop. And like that's made it really easy for me to like I've built a list of other movies that I want to watch. Like I have what else do I have on here? Incredibles 2, Star Trek, Tomorrowland, Jupiter's Ascent, Total Recall, Fantastic Planet, Chappie, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. I do kind of want to see Justice League, but they're still kind of pricey. I've not seen Wonder Woman, and I do want to see that one. And making myself wait, it's getting kind of painful. Valerian and the City of a Thousand Worlds, Blade Runner 2049. There was a series called Every Day, or not a series, a movie called Every Day, where somebody falls in love with somebody who switches bodies every day or something like that. And so I was like, that sounds like a really interesting character-driven story with amazing acting from a lot of young actors. And like, I'm kind of curious about that. And then No Impact Man. And honestly, like with a lot of these things where it's like $4 to watch them, and like on Netflix, that's just all on YouTube. If we go over to the things I have on Netflix to watch, like there's a lot of stuff out there that I want to, like I've been meaning to catch up on. I haven't seen Wonder Woman yet, and from what I've heard, it was a really, really good movie. Some people liked the new Aquaman movie. I haven't seen that one yet. I haven't seen the TV series for Arrow. I haven't seen the Supergirl TV series. I have not seen The Flash. Is there more in that series? They're coming out with a new like Doom Patrol. And oh, one of the other things I definitely want to see is the Umbrella Academy. Like, I'm so antsy to see that, but I'm forcing myself to wait. And so it's just sort of like, I like, I want to see it so bad. There's another one on there like that. Uh, there's the Umbrella Academy was one, and then there was another superhero one, something like The Boys or something like that. And like, I'm trying to remember, like Netflix has come out with a lot of new series that are sound like they're totally worth watching. Let's see if I can pull that up. And Amazon Prime might have a few things too. I know I haven't seen Man in a High Castle, which is based off of a Philip K. Dick uh, science fiction book, and uh, that was one of those things that I wanted to watch before I left here a year and a half ago, and like I feel like I've left that behind, but like I still want to go back and see it. Yeah, it's just like for me, I oh geez, I probably went 9 months without seeing a movie or a TV. Well, that's not true. I went I went 9 months without TV. I did see Solo and Black Panther at theaters while I was traveling across the country, and it was only because they were both um, in small theaters in the Midwest that played movies well past when they were usually in theaters. So I got like super cheap tickets for them. Um, let's see. What else was I looking to watch? Like, there's just so much out there that I haven't seen. Things that I would have watched had I been given the chance, and I was just too busy to do it. Um, Black Mirror is the series that people have recommended to me that I haven't seen. Um, I was kind of curious about Bright, which was like a Will Smith elves and goblins in New York City kind of story. And it just sounded so absurd that it seemed like it would be amusing to watch. Um, no. So that's what else we got. Uh, show me some of the other movies, guys. Come on. There's just such a big bunch of stuff that I am way behind on. Like Black Mirror, I believe, is a series that it's like its second or third season. So I've got episodes upon episodes of that to watch. And then what do we got? Thrillers, no, not really my shtick. Movies for young kids. I'd watch some of those. I've seen some really fun, weird stuff. Late night comedies, not really. No new releases. Oh, Incredibles 2 is in that. Okay, I could probably watch that. They got a live action Little Mermaid? What's going on in the world? I've missed everything. It's it's not going to get any better if I keep holding up like a hermit. Color of Water did pretty well for I think it got Oscars, right? Or the what was it called? It's not Color of Water. Um, I haven't seen the new The Orville or the new Star Trek series? Discovery. And everybody recommends those. And I feel like I should give them a shot at least. Titan, Roman. What is that? Napoli Ever After. Okay. That's not what I thought it was. Okay. Close. Hurricane, Apostle, Cargo. Man, there's just stuff I've never heard of that I would be willing to check out. Top picks for me. This should be interesting because these things never recommend anything. Like, why is Mac and Devin go to high school with Snoop Dogg? Like, why is that on my recommended list? Scott Pilgrim, why is that there? Like, these are not things I watch. Biggie and Tupac. Somebody else using my, well, I mean, I had housemates for a while, so that might be part of it. Watchmen was a good movie. Mini Force New Hero. What? Oh, the world of Netflix recommendations. It's so weird. So absolutely weird. And to be fair, I've earned some of that. I haven't seen Venom yet. Yeah, I'm not looking to buy Bright, but I can see it for free on my Netflix membership, so I may end up doing that. Because it's one of those things, like I read some books that the book is not good, but it has so many rich, fun, interesting ideas in it that I kind of want to be able to just see those ideas and use them as fodder for creating new ideas. All right, so my list on Netflix with leftovers of things I haven't looked at in a year and a half. Extraordinary Tales, Automata with Anthony Banderas, Secret Tales, no, The Secret Rules of Modern Living Algorithms. Yeah, no, I don't know why that's on my to-watch list, but it is. There's an Adam Sandler movie in there. Eternal Sunshine, Synchronicity, and The Girl King, Aeon Flux. I don't know. Like, I don't know why. I think I lost some of the ones that I did want to see because they cycled them out. Oh, I haven't seen The Crow in a long time. Malevolent, Jaws. Like, I remember Jaws from when I was a kid. I wouldn't go swimming even in lakes for like a year. Gerald's Game, is that based off of a Stephen King story? Satanic. Pan's Labyrinth. Now that was a movie. That was an art piece if there ever was one. To the Bone. I don't know what half of this is, and I feel like I'm missing out on some interesting things. Message from the King. Anything about her? Silence. I don't know. Jailbait. Solomon Kane. Tale of Tales. And it looks like somebody eating a huge heart. I don't. Oh dear. Yep. So I think I'm probably gonna end up doing Views Day movie watching. Instead of doing movies, I'm probably gonna do um, pilot or first two episodes of some of those Marvel TV series. And that should get me all the way out to Marvel Endgame. I think that's what I'm going to do. Because the X-Men really just don't fit that universe. Not yet. I have hopes that they'll make it fit. Oh, wasn't there also a like a failed Marvel TV series? It was the Inhumans. I want to see that. Like I don't know if it'll be any good, but like I kind of want to know, like even if it's bad, why is it bad? What was bad about it? I kind of want to see it. So I think tomorrow I'm going to get up early, go get some errands done, and then I'm going to Views Day late for this week, starting in on the Marvel TV series. once I see Endgame in theater, I'll probably do the Jeepers Creepers 1 and 2. I think I saw number 1. I'm not big on horror movies for the most part because I don't find them particularly scary. And the fact that they have to go so far into a realm of supernatural to make something terrifying for a lot of people makes it so it gets so unrealistic that it's not terrifying for me. Like I like fantasy, I like science fiction, but I'm not scared of anything scary in a fantasy or a science fiction setting because it's not realistic enough for me to worry about. There was a movie I remember seeing in a theater, I believe it was called The Relic, where it's like it takes place in a museum. There's a shipment of something that mutates somebody in some kind of way, and they become this giant like terror monster. It was done very similar to the original Aliens movie. And I think they did it really well. It was an intense movie. I still don't think like it wouldn't give me nightmares. It doesn't terrify me. I feel like the closest I get to a movie being scary are movies like Hannibal, or like where there is no supernatural element. You just have a crazy, brutal, evil human being. And it's completely plausible that somebody could be like that. That is a little scary, but even then, I don't have nightmares after things like that. And so, like for scary movies, like jump scares will get me because it's just a sudden sound and it jumps you. But after that, I'm like, okay. The Green Mile, I have not actually seen. How bad is that? I know it's like a movie classic for a lot of people. I have not seen it. I also haven't seen all of Castaway with Tom Hanks. Um, I have not seen a lot of movies. There are a lot of movies out there that a lot of people are like, these are keystone movies of the last decade. I have not seen any of them. I saw the Lord of the Rings movies. I've seen some of the Star Wars movies. I've not watched any of Game of Thrones. Everybody's into Arrow. I've not seen any of that. What else are the big ones that people got into? Like I just, for a long time, I had no interest in movies or television. But, I felt like I was not missing, but like enough people were interested in certain things that I should at least explore them. And, whenever I watch a movie or read a book, I enjoy the experience of the movie or the book, but I also enjoy the ideas they inspire in me for new things. And so that's sort of why I started this channel, was to get back into the habit of exploring pop culture. Yeah, I'm trying to remember, like, there are occasionally a few good movies that for me, like, I would recommend heartily to anybody. And sometimes the movies I recommend are movies that other people think were bad. And I admit that there are parts of them that should have been better. Like, I liked the 1980s Dune movie. That's one of my favorites to date. And it's partly just because artistically it's gorgeous. The sets, the costumes, so much of that movie was just amazingly visionary. Trying to remember, like, Big Fish is one of my favorite movies. And it's partly because that movie is a story about storytelling. It's a modern myth. The character is the story. The story is the character. And so, like, to me, that's like, you have to at least see it once. And, when I say that, like, I have friends and family who watch it and they don't get anything from it. And I get that. It's just a difference in how we look at movies and stuff like that. So I get that it doesn't always translate over to other viewers like that. Trying to remember, like, other movies that I would say were just fundamentally, like, good movies in my mind. Yeah. I don't usually listen to critics, but one of the other things, like, when I look at, like, the movie Dune from the 1980s, I'm just like, I so thoroughly think that's a fascinating world, an amazing story, a good setting, good design, costuming, prop work, all around those things I love. The story it tells is hard to do well because the concept is so in the heads of all the characters and not as easily viewable. It's written to be a book, and translating that to a movie turned out to be way harder than anybody anticipated. And so when I've recommended it to people, like, there are a lot of people out there that say, like, oh, that's a bad movie. And I can kind of understand what they're saying. Like, it, by today's standards, it doesn't pull off the story right. They did a mini series of Dune, like a decade later, and the mini series got a lot of the story done well, but the visuals and everything else were garbage. And I've always kind of wanted to see if there was a way to edit the original movie from the 80s using dialogue and cutting and pacing and editing from the miniseries. Like, if you could make that work, that would be amazing. Now, I hear they're making a new one, and I'm kind of curious to see what they do with it this time. I liked what Willow is a classic movie in my mind. Actually, I want to try to pull up. Let me see if I can go pull up my my list of to get movies. Still, I am a fan of Hayao Miyazaki. Um, he did Princess Mononoke, Spirited Away. I like a lot of his stuff. Let's see. What's my movie list look like? Come on. Oh, it's running so slow because I'm recording at the same time. Let's see. No, that's not what I was asking you to do. Okay, so movies. Come on, movies. Movies. There we go. Oh, I should probably look back in on some of those things that I was doing. There's so much to do right now. Still a little all over the place. That's not what I asked you to do. I asked you to go to movies. Oh, there was a superhero movie that I watched years ago called The Specials, which is a comedic superhero movie, which I actually enjoyed a bit. It's kind of funny. I found it on Amazon. I need to order it. Gandahar was a really, really weird science fiction animated movie that I watched years ago. And I don't remember much about it other than that it was weird and interesting. Ladyhawke, Willow, Dragon Slayer, those were movies that were things that I thought were amazing when I was younger. Spirited Away, Howl's Moving Castle. The Book of Kells was an amazing animated movie. And the people who made that also came out with Song of the Sea. I have not seen that yet. I want to see that. What I liked the newer Conan the Barbarian movie too. I have not seen The Spirit, which is another superhero movie. I kind of want to see the new Wreck-It Ralph movie, the sequel, but I'm not sure if that's any good or not. I haven't heard from anybody about it yet. And then a bunch of like esoteric weird movies. So I've got a big old pile of things to go looking through at some point. Alrighty, so actually we're coming up on an hour. I should probably go for the night. I will try to be better about getting here on time tomorrow, roughly around 9:30 to 10. I got a bunch of things to try to do during the day, and then try to do something. Like, I don't. How much time we got left in this month? 2 weeks ish. Yeah, 2 weeks and a day, roughly. So
I'm going to try to do as much as I can in this next couple weeks so I can get back onto a good foot to start April with. Yep. It was nice talking about movies tonight. I will see probably tomorrow about doing the first. I feel like the first. I think I'm gonna, even though I've seen Daredevil first season, I may just do a views day for this week as the first two episodes of Daredevil season one. I might even do season two. I have to go back and look at some people I was talking with online. There's a movie review group that has a Discord channel that I participate in. And I was chatting with somebody on there about what's the correct sequence to view those in. So I'll have to figure that out. But I think that's what I'm doing. So, and then tomorrow I'll do an update on tomorrow's Saturday. So, an update on where I finished off everything from my trip and then plans for the coming week. Alrighty. So, thanks for joining me. I will see you tomorrow. Take care of yourself. All right, so end stream.